So I read some of your articles, and I noticed that a lot of those articles haven't talked about your business, which to
Mm-mm.
me seems like it's been pretty successful. I mean, you have
Mm-hmm.
12 solid clients.
Mm-hmm.
You just started, you said, officially in July. It's
Yep.
only September.
Yep.
So that's what, 2 months, 3
Mm-hmm.
months?
Yep.
I mean, why haven't you think they highlighted that? Like,
I
you're a
don't
black
know.
business owner, you're a teacher, you're a PhD candidate. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't think they talked about any of those things.
No, it keeps getting cut out, and I just be like, "Oh Lord!" It even gets cut out in the title, and I don't know. I try not to be offended, and I'm just taking it as like, okay, God, I see they're not highlighting that. My time will come when that will be like a highlight, or where people will speak of Scholar School and already know my name, and I won't have to like, advertise it or promote it. As of right now, I feel like everybody's just on this train of, oh, let's just hear what Delta has to say, and let's all be a part of talking about this good moment, and that's cool and all, but some of these articles are not really concerned about me as a person. They just want, you know, the permission for the photo and just to have their article and get their views up, because they're still a business. So if you got the hottest topic out and it's trending and my name is trending, oh yeah, of course I'm gonna put her in the article. I really don't care about her business. I only care about what the hot topic is, and it is Delta right now. So that's cool or whatever, because my business was given to me by God, so it's going to flourish regardless.
Amazing. Absolutely. Do you think that the media has taken this story because it's A, about race,
Yes.
B, it's a trending topic, and that's just going to make it popular,
Hmm.
and C, it's going to make them money?
I think it's a mixture of all. I feel like in the times that we are with the racial tensions, which has always been here, but I feel like this particular summer, especially after the killing of George Floyd, like it's been so many negative stories just back to back to back to back to back,
Mm-hmm.
especially just now with Jacob Blake. So it's like for me
Mm.
to go to the commitment march for this particular reason for George Floyd, and we're fighting for all these other people who have been killed by police
And still
brutality.
haven't gotten justice.
Yep.
By the way.
No justice. So it's like that mixed with, Blue Lives Matter has became this trending thing. And it's just a hot topic right now, and it does make money to talk about what's hot. So
Well, the funny thing about justice, and Huey P. Newton said this, and I don't know if he was the originator,
mhm,
but they say when you're out there searching for justice, the only thing that you're gonna find that it is just us.
us.
And I heard that when I was a young boy. I must have been 9
Mhm,
years old when my grandmother was putting me on game to Huey
mhm.
P. Newton and the Black Panther Party.
She
So,
sound amazing.
oh, for sure. My grandmother is a very well educated woman. Loves being black. She lets you know that that's the
Yeah.
first. When you meet her, that's the first thing she say. She's proud of it, and she literally instilled that proudness in me. I'm proud to be black.
Period.
Like you said earlier, when I walk into a room, you don't know that I'm a master's or a graduate student. You don't know that I
Period.
own multiple businesses and I own stake in other businesses. You don't know that I'm in the community actually doing work on the ground.
Mhm.
You don't know any of these things about me, but you do know that I'm black.
Right.
So we have to embrace that. And I think the media, to go back to your point you just made, I went off on that tangent, but the media, honestly, I think they have just been kind of keep on kicking this can down the street when it comes to racism. Like
Yep.
that's how they thrive.
Mhm.
That's how they live. I mean, even our current political system, right? We
Mhm.
have to have something for people to fear. That's the number one control tactic is fear. If I can get
Yeah.
you to fear something, I'll have control
You
over
can
your
control 'em.
mind.
Yep.
So then when we introduce this different alternative narrative that says Blue Lives Matter,
Mhm.
that automatically combats Black Lives Matter. And some people don't understand that, right?
Mhm.
Because we can still care about police lives.
Yeah.
I care about police lives.
Yeah, I don't want them to be all shot up and beat up.
You
even
you
though
know
they do that to us.
exactly, but we care about everyone's lives because we're all humans.
Mhm.
But when you come to me and I say Black Lives Matter and your rebuttal is Blue Lives Matter, then automatically right there you're creating division.
Somebody made a good analogy about a house being burned down in a neighborhood. And if your house was burned down and I walked up to you and was like, oh, your house is burning? And they be like, yeah, I'm super sad. And they be like, oh, well, all houses burn down. Like, bro, but right now, my house is the one on fire. So I really like that analogy because it is stating, like, we're not saying all other lives doesn't matter, but we're saying if this is fact that all lives matter, then Black lives should definitely matter. And we should not constantly have this conversation of trying to justify a cop doing anything that causes the death of any human, especially Black men and Black children and Black women. That should never be a case. Because every time a Black person is killed, the first thing they want to pull is their kindergarten detention slip. Like, what does that have to do? That's 1999.
He stole a candy bar when he was in 5th grade.
In 5th grade, and his mom and dad wasn't there. Like, okay, but yet when somebody blatantly is walking with an AK, a assault rifle at 17 years old without his parents across state lines by himself, no one says, oh, his mother is unfit, his father is unfit, or y'all should pull out his records of how many times he got into detention. It's like, it's the same. It's just devastating to watch our country constantly do this. But when they don't believe in our humanity, then it's never going to be a sense of understanding why Black lives matter. And especially if Blackness is always going to be us and who we are, we're always going to be armed because our Blackness is our weapon to them. So we're always a threat. We're always armed.
Now, do you think it's the country? And when you say country, I'm assuming you mean the people in the country. Do you think it's them that's continuously, I guess, adding fuel to the fire of racism? Or do you think it's the media? Or you think it's both?
Both. I feel like it's both. Like, the country started off its beliefs all the way back when we had 3/4. The media just takes,
you got to go back further than that. You got to go back to 1619 when the White Lion arrived in Virginia. That was the first group of slaves in this country was in 1619. 20 slaves stepped off the White Lion ship. And then from there, we entered into a period of 250 years of chattel slavery.
Right. And it's stuff like that. So it's just like when they have that mindset and then you raise your children to have this mindset and then they become adults and they raise their children. It's just a generational mindset that, one, is demonic and two, just is sick. Because if the roles were reversed, nobody would want to be in the place of a Black man or woman or child.
So I oftentimes say the problem is not with the institution. The problem is actually with the mindset of the people within such institution. And I always give an example. I say slavery. I say we abolished the institution of slavery, right?
Yeah.
Through the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. We said it's no longer acceptable. So what? Well, let's just say.
Because we have the new Jim Crow.
Exactly. And then we also have slavery by another name. It's called the prison industrial complex. But let's just, for the sake of my example here, let's just say that we abolished the institution of slavery.
Okay.
Chattel slavery is abolished. We failed to abolish the mindsets of the people who allowed slavery to exist.
Right.
And then we moved into a period after slavery called Jim Crow, segregation. That was slavery by a different name. So we can dismantle the institution. We can say, all right, we're going to dismantle all the police systems in this country. But if we don't change the mindsets of the people who think it's okay to put their knee on a man's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, it doesn't matter what you call it.
Right.
We're still going to have injustice. We're still going to have discrimination. We're still going to have disparity. So when I say it's not the institution, it's the people, people look at me and say, whoa, what do you mean by that?
Nah, I definitely agree.
What do you mean it's not the institution? You must be a Trump supporter. You don't want to dismantle the police. You don't want to abolish the police. You're a Trump supporter. And I'm like, no, I'm rational.
You don't want to abolish the police?
I don't want to abolish the police. And maybe I can have you come on. We could talk about that at a later time because I feel like we can have a 2-hour conversation. I don't want to abolish the police. I think we need to reappropriate the police. I think we need to figure out how to strategically move funds within the police department.
Like y'all do teachers, because y'all take funds from us all the time. Okay? I just want to put that plug out there.